Hello everyone, this is part 5 of What If Naruto Came Back to Claim His Family's Name, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Well, I am going to bed, said Naruto as he yawned loudly. Okay, said Sakura as she moved her off Naruto's lap, which she was currently using as a pillow as she read another book. Naruto-kun, I have a question for you. Yeah, said Naruto. Ino told me that my apparement is almost fixed, said Sakura as Naruto's face fell. So you want to leave? Said Naruto with such sadness in his voice that it broke Sakura's heart. She rushed over to his side and placed a soft hand on his cheek. Naruto-kun, I will never leave you. I was going to ask if I can stay here with you, said Sakura as Naruto's eyes widened and shook. You want to stay? Asked the almost stunned Naruto as Sakura stroked his cheek. Of course, I do, you barker, said Sakura softly. Now what do you say? Can I stay? Of course you can stay, Sakura-chan, said Naruto, so happy that he picked Sakura up, causing her to yip in surprise. Before she started laughing at Naruto's reaction to her question. Neither of them were aware that out in the darkness of the night sat a lone figure was watching them through the small window. Tonight is my night, thought Hanabi. Hyuga, sister of Hinata, was dressed in all black against the moonless night. She pulled down her goggles to hide her eyes and pulled up her face mask. The only hint of anything other than black was the dark red handle of her katana. She waited until all the lights went out in the household before making her move. Softly she landed on the roof of the Namika's household, using her chakra to soften the landing into nothingness. Slowly she looked around the roof. The only sign of life was a red fox sitting by the front door and another brown fox sitting on the far edge of the roof. Softly and fast she ran toward a small skylight in the roof above the living room. She opened the window and jumped down into the dark living room. The moment she landed, she activated her Byakugan. Just as I thought, the seal only on the outer walls. My Byakugan works perfectly in here, thought Hanabi as she looked around the household. Sakura was asleep in the far bedroom with a little animal next to her. Naruto was also asleep with a much larger fox asleep at the foot of his bed. With all the grace of the best-trained Hyuga in the main household, she moved to Sakura's door. Slowly she opened the door. There was her target, the sleeping Haruno. Slowly she walked up to the bed Sakura remained asleep. Slowly she pulled her katana out of the shelf, the blade reflecting the few rays of light as Hanabi held it over Sakura's chest. For the good of the Hyuga clan you must be removed. Goodbye, said Hanabi as she plunged the sword down into Sakura's chest. Warm blood flew around the room as Hanabi slid Sakura multiple times with her katana. After being espered at least half a dozen times, Sakura's eyes opened, and to Hanabi's surprise she was smiling. You came to the wrong place, said Sakura before she faded away and was replaced with a pillow. Genjutsu, thought Hanabi as fear ran down her spine as she turned around with her katana in hand only to come face to face with the nine-tailed fox. With many other foxes all round the empty bedroom, all of the sharp fangs glinted in the darkened room. Welcome, said the Kyuubi as his red eyes glowed in the dark. What, how did you know I was here? Said Hanabi as she tried to face down the Kyuubi. You fool, we let you in, said the Kyuubi as Hanabi's eyes widened. You thought that the seal didn't work inside the house, did you, Hyuga? Who said that I am a Hyuga? Said Hanabi as she wondered how she was tricked. Because you smell like one of those snakes, and the seal that Kit put on the inside of the house fools the Byakugan, said Kyuubi with a smile. How dare you insult the Hyuga clan and the Byakugan? Nothing can fool the Hyuga clan's bloodline because it is the strongest bloodline limit in the entire village, yelled Hanabi as anger raised throughout her body. That is where you are wrong, Hyuga. There is always a way to defeat everything. You see the seal that Kit put on the house to blocks you from seeing inside, but it is also forms a multi-level defense. If they come inside, it allows us to choose what we want you to see. Sakura is in a completely different room. Now you have two choices: surrender or we have some fun and we get to L your tea out. Hanabi quickly looked around. She was outnumbered at least 20 to 1, and one of those was a demon lord. Also, if what the fox said was true, then her Byakugan was useless in here. She had no choice. I surrender, said Hanabi as she tossed her weapons at the feet of the fox. Now that is a good Hyuga, said Kyubi before he turned toward two of the other foxes. You go get the Hokage, you wake up Naruto. Yes, Lord Kyubi, responded both foxes before they both disappeared. Soon Naruto and Sakura appeared out of the same room, and a few minutes after that the Hokage and a few Anbu appeared. This better be good, brat, yawned the Hokage. It is Lady Hokage, we caught this Hyuga full-armed inside the here trying to kill Sakura, said the Kyubi as she pointed his nose at Hanabi. I see, remove your mask and put your hands in the air, ordered the Hokage as Hanabi removed her mask and raised her hands. Anbu, take her and integrate her for information and don't inform her family. Lady Hokage, she is a Hyuga and a ninja of our village, it is unlawful to integrate her without informing her family, said one of the masked Anbu. Normal, you would be right, but since she had just tried to kill a fellow leaf ninja, therefore she gave up those rights, said Tsunade as the Anbu nodded before sking Hanabi away. Well, this will make the Hyugas upset, said Naruto. Yeah, said Tsunade. Maybe we can trade Hanabi for Tenten, said Sakura. No, because then they would know that Neji is working with us, said Tsunade as she turned toward Naruto. Any word from your fox? I talked to him earlier today, he has searched the branch members' homes and found nothing, he thinks that Tenten is being held somewhere inside the main household, said Naruto. I also asked Sasuke if he knew what his vote is, turns out it is the vote to decide who controls the council, and until my clan returned the Hyugas would have won again. I see, that explains a lot and why the Hyugas would go to such lengths to get your vote. Well, I will let the two of you get some rest, good night then, said Tsunade as she left the two ninjas. Well, let's go back to bed, yawned Naruto as he made his way back toward his bedroom. Suddenly an idea popped into Sakura's head. Naruto-kun, can I sleep with you? Asked Sakura as she started to pout a bit. Please, I don't feel safe because an assassin just came and tried to kill me, I would feel safer with you. Sakura, you don't have to lie to me, I know that you don't feel that unsafe, said Naruto as Sakura's face fell. I am sorry about that part, but I do feel safer when I am around you, said Sakura as Naruto stood in his doorway. You coming? Asked Naruto with a smirk as Sakura walked toward him. They walked into Naruto's bedroom and got into bed and cuddled together in the center. Just don't any ideas, said Sakura as she laid her head on Naruto's chest. Too late, said Naruto as he smelled Sakura's hair. Pervert, said Sakura as she fell asleep, soon followed by Naruto. The next morning Sakura was first to wake up to find a sleeping Naruto. He looks so peaceful, thought Sakura as she looked up at her boyfriend's sleeping face. Yeah, our boyfriend is so hot, screamed Ina Sakura. Wait a second, we have been boyfriend and girlfriend for a few days and we haven't kissed yet, said Sakura. Well, we will have to fix that today now, won't we? Said Ina Sakura with an evil smile. Yes, we will, thought Sakura, who was also grinning as she rubbed Naruto's cheek before moving up to his blonde hair. Sakura's hand went behind Naruto's ear and scratched it a little, causing his leg to move. No, it couldn't be. Remember, Kyubi did say Naruto does have a little bit of fox nature in him, said Ina Sakura, and Juno loves being scratched behind the ear. So outer Sakura scratched Naruto's ear again, causing his leg to move yet again. The harder that Sakura scratched, the more Naruto's leg moved. The leg moved, the move he smiled and moved closer to Sakura. This is just too cute. Med Naruto as his eyes started to open. Good morning, Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she moved her hand away from Naruto's ear. That has got to be the best wake-up call I've ever had, said Naruto as he looked at Sakura in the eyes. Besta, said Sakura as an idea came her head. I bet you can beat that. I don't know how, said Naruto as Sakura pushed herself up just a little bit. Like this, said Sakura as she suddenly climbed up on top of Naruto and within a few seconds pressed her lips against his. For a few seconds Naruto's eyes went wide before he started kissing her back. After a few seconds of haven they parted. Sakura's pink hair had dropped down, cutting them both off from the rest of the world while both of them smiled at each other. I think you won that bet, Sakura-chan, said Naruto. So what did I win? Asked Sakura. This, said Naruto as he went up and kissed her. This time neither one of them was shocked about the kiss, instead both of them kissed each other back from the very start. After a little bit of kissing they parted again. Was that a good prize? The best, smiled Sakura as she got ready to kiss the blonde hunk again. However, just as they were about to kiss again, something interrupted their little world. Sakura-chan, Sakura-chan, yelled Lee's voice, followed by a loud knocking on the front door. I will ring that guy's N, said a very angry Sakura. Slowly they got up and walked to the door. As soon as they opened the door, Lee jumped in and hugged Sakura tightly. Sakura-chan, I am so happy that you are safe. I was away on a mission and I just heard that your apparement blew up, cried Lee into Sakura's chest. Naruto just glared at Lee, wanting to break his legs for hugging Sakura-chan in front of him. Lee, I am fine, now get off me, yelled Sakura as she pulled Lee off her. But Sakura-chan, I was so afraid when I heard that the woman I love almost yelled Lee as his tears ran down even thicker. Now Naruto didn't want to break Lee's legs, he wanted to break his N. Sakura was already rubbing her tempes in frustration, knowing what was coming next. Sakura-chan, would you like to go on a date to celebrate your survival? Lee, said Sakura as Lee leaned closer toward Sakura. Yes, Sakura-chan. No, yelled Sakura as she punched Lee out of the door and into a nearby tree. Lee landed on the ground and looked up at Sakura. But Sakura-chan, why will you let our love blossom, like the flower blossoms in the youthful spring? Asked Lee as more tears ran down his face. Lee, I am already dating Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she reached up and rubbed Naruto's cheek. Getting a warm smile from Naruto and a look of pure hate from Lee. In an instant Lee was on his feet and in a fighting stance. Naruto, I have always respected you, however you have taken the woman I love away from me. Fight me now for her youthful love, yelled Lee. Lee, said Naruto calmly, you love Sakura-chan, right? Of course I love her, with all the power in my youthful heart. Yelled Lee. Okay, if you love her, why are you treating her like something that can win in a fight? Lee, Sakura-chan's love is hers to give whoever she wants, nothing can change that, said Naruto. However, if you want to fight for her, I will fight for her right to choose whoever she wants to love. Sakura could only smile, loving as Naruto stepped toward Lee. Unlike most guys who would just go treated woman like an object when some other guy wanted her, Naruto had treated her with respect. Naruto-kun is such a great man. And just as good at kissing, said inner Sakura. I wonder if his SKS go beyond kiss. Shut up, yelled Sakura back at herself before snapping back to Lee and Naruto-kun. I see, said Lee after thinking for a bit before he lowered his stance. Once again, Naruto, your words are true. It is Sakura-chan's choice to whom she gives her youthful love to. However, I would have wished it could have been me. When he said the last part, his face fell. Don't worry, Lee, you'll find someone, said Naruto as he put a hand on Lee's shoulder. Thank you, my friend, said Lee as light tears formed in his eyes. However, right now I think I need to talk to Guy-sensei. Okay, besides we have to get to the training field to meet up with our team, said Naruto. See you later, Naruto, Sakura-chan, said Lee as he slowly walked away. So Sakura-chan, how about some breakfast and then we head to train our team? Said Naruto. Sure, said Sakura as both of them went back inside. Naruto went to make some breakfast while she went to get dressed. As she walked down the hallway, she looked inside Naruto's bedroom and was greeted by a shocking sight. There was Naruto sitting up in bed asleep, his head resting on top of someone else's head. Sakura looked closer. Naruto appeared a little bit older and the person that his head was sleeping on was an older version of herself. Her older self was asleep using Naruto's shoulder as her pillow. However, they weren't alone. Sleeping in between them laid the older girl with a mix of pink and blonde hair from her daydream the other day, except she looked a few years younger. Along with her were younger versions of the two blonde hair boys, both of them asleep, one on both sides of Naruto and her older self. The two boys were hugging either Sakura or Naruto, while the older girl's arms, one was on each of her parents. At the foot of the bed where the Kyuubi normally slept was a crib. On the ground on either side of the crib lay two foxes. One she realized they were the Kyuubi, the other one, a large white fox, was Juno. Sakura just looked at the scene. They all seemed so peaceful and you could sense the love in the room. Sakura just looked on, confused as the image of her older self eyes opened and her head moved a little to look toward the doorway. They looked at each other for a second before the older Sakura smiled and the image disappeared from sight. What was that? Asked Sakura out loud to herself. What was what? Asked the Kyuubi as he walked up to her before looking into the empty bedroom. Oh, nothing, what do you need? Said Sakura. Kit was wondering if you wanted pancakes or scrambled eggs. Asked the QB. Eggs are fine. Thanks, said the QB as he started to walk back to the kitchen mumbling something along the lines of, I am a demon lord not a waiter. Any word from Hanabi? Asked one of the elders. No, said Hiashi as he looked around the council room. That is not good, if she was captured, said another of the elders. Hanabi is the best that the main house has, she likely hiding out waiting for the Anbu to stop looking for her, said Hiashi. Suddenly a branch member bust through the door. What is the meaning of this? Yelled Hiashi as the branch member cowered in fear. I am sorry Lord Hiashi but I bring news about your daughter Hanabi, said the branch member as he got down on all fours before the head of the clan. Speak. My lord, she has failed, the Namikas captured her before she could complete her mission, said the clan member. She is being interrogated by the Anbu as we speak. What? Yelled Hiashi, they are holding my daughter and didn't inform us. Sir, the Hokage said that since she tried to kill another leaf ninja and that we are at war that it is possible that she is an enemy ninja and needed to be integrated, said the branch member. This is not good Hiashi, said an elder, the vote is coming up and now the Namikas has caught one of our own trying to kill the Haruno inside his own house. He will most certainly not vote our way. Agreed, if this doesn't angry him nothing will, said another of the elders. We have to fix this problem right away, we have to get his vote for the good of our clan, said one of the few woman council members. Agreed. Daughter, any luck on driving the Haruno away from the Namikas? Asked Hiashi. No luck father, it seems that the witch never leaves Naruto-kun's side, said Hinata as the council members raised an eyebrow. Sorry council members, I lost my cool for a moment. You are forgiven daughter, but what have you done to get to the Namikas? Asked Hiashi. I tried to get the Hokage to pair our genin teams up together but she denied me. Saying that Naruto-kun and the Haruno have been teammates since they were genin, therefore it was best to team them up together. While I was paired up with Kiba Inuzuka instead, said Hinata. Then the Hokage is more foolish than we thought. She should have paired up you and the Namikas. Both of you are from one of the 3 most noble clans in the village, said an elder. Agreed, however it could have been worse, at least the Inuzuka clan has always stayed loyal to us like the dogs they are, said another of the elders. Hinata was a little offended that they would insult their clan's most loyal ally and her friend. Okay, back to the matter at hand, we only have a mouth before the vote and right now my other daughter is being integrated, said Hiashi. Well, our first step should be to free your daughter and then get rid of the Haruno, said the elder. Agreed, but how she was caught while trying to remove the Haruno in the Namika's house, said Hinata. Exactly, a Haruno in the Namika's household, said the elder. There is a very old law that hasn't been changed since the first Hokage. It says that any of the 11 major clans can enter another clan's house during a time of war if they believe a spy is in it and is stealing the clan's secrets. All we have to say then is that we thought that the Haruno was trying to steal some of Namika's clan's secrets, said the elder. Excellent, it will free Hanabi and make the Haruno look like a thief in front of Namika's at the same time, however we will have to give them something that makes it seem possible that we entered for that reason, said one of the elder. Excuse me elder, said the branch member. What, you have not left let? Yelled Hashi as the branch member cowered in fear. No sir, you haven't dismissed me yet. However I do know how you can justify that entry, said the branch member. Please speak, said Hinata. Sakura Haruno carries around a little white fox that belongs to the Namika's clan, therefore all you have to say is that you, though she was stealing the fox and was going to give it to our enemies, said the branch member. A good idea, said one of the elders. It surprises me that it came from a branch family member. Tell me, what is your name? Asked Hashi. My name is Haikura, sir, said the branch member. Haikura, do you have a family? Asked Hashi. Yes, sir, a little girl about to go to the alchemy, said Haikura. Well, if you talk about this to anyone she will not live to see graduation, said Hashi as Haikura started to shake. No sir, I will never tell anyone about this meeting. Good, then you are dismissed, said Hashi as Haikura slowly left the room. Excuse me elders, but I will go free my daughter, therefore I must call this meeting to a close. Slowly all the elders got up and left, leaving only Hinata in the large room. I never imagined I would be doing these things, said Hinata slowly. Naruto-kun, why couldn't you just have taken the deal, or better yet give up on Sakura? She beat you every day when you were genin, but yet you didn't care. I would never hit you like Sakura would. I would never yell at you or call you hurtful names. I would only love you like I have since our days as genin. That is when Hinata started to cry. Why will you not love me? Why don't you realize that we belong together? Hinata spilled her soul out to what she thought was an empty room. However, a little fox sat up in the rafter listening in as he has from the beginning. Sakura and Naruto walked onto the training field to find Kinkara showing off Ronin to her teammates. Yes, Naruto-sensei gave me him because I can't understand the dogs my family use, and apparently Fox can speak human after a year. Ah, he is so cute, said Hinura, and Luke gathered around scratched Ronin's ear, and of course Ronin was loving every second of it. Okay kiddies, before we do any missions we are going to have some training, said Naruto as the kids groaned. But Naruto-sensei, we graduated from school, we want to go on missions and live the lives of ninjas, said Rick. With training you can live the life of a ninja longer, said Naruto. Believe me, I almost more times than I can count. If it wasn't for my training I would have but with Sakura-chan and mine help you won't come as close as neither one of us. Okay sensei, said Rick. That what is our training? Asked Luke. Our first exercise is climbing trees, said Sakura. Climbing trees? Asked Hinura. We already now know how to climb trees. Without using your hands? Asked Naruto as he walked up to a tree and counted up it. As the genin looked at him stunned. Okay, the trick is to move your chakra to your feet, then use it to latch yourself onto the tree. Now everybody pick a tree and uses a kunai to mark how far you make it up the tree. Okay, said the genin as they each of them lined up in front of a tree and run up. Naruto had to fight back laughter as Rick tripped while running toward the tree, causing him to do a faceplant into the ground. Luke had gotten the farthest for the boys, maybe 7 feet off the ground. While Minuto had put too much force into his foot, sending him flying until he landed on top of Rick. Meanwhile, Sakura could only help from smiling at the sight of the girls beating the boys in the tree climbing exercise. All the girls had gotten at least 10 feet off the ground. Another example of the fact that girls are better than boys, screamed Inner Sakura. You forgot the fact that in general girls can control their chakra much better than boys. Only because they in general have less, said Sakura back to herself as Rick finally got up from the ground and finally tried to climb the tree. Only he didn't put too little force into and slipped off right away. It is okay to fail the first time. I failed the first time, said Naruto, trying to cheer up the boys. What about you, Sakura-sensei? How did you do your first time? Asked Hinura. Well, I did good, answered Sakura. Right, you did good, more like you were a natural, said Naruto as the genin looked at him. She walked right up the tree without even trying, while me and Sasuke were out all night trying to figure it out. Really, you're that good at chakra control, Sakura-sensei? Asked Luke. Well, I kind of have to be a medical ninja, said Sakura. You're a medical ninja? Wow, I always wanted to be a medic, said Luke. Well, maybe Sakura-chan can teach you. She did study under the Hokage, said Naruto as Luke's eyes widened before she turned back to Sakura with pleading eyes. Can you, Sakura-sensei, can you teach me? Asked Luke. Sure, but first you have to master the chakra exercises that we are doing, said Sakura as Luke along with the others went back to trying to figure out how to climb trees. So how long do you think it will take them? Asked Naruto as he landed next to Sakura. I would bet you that the girls are done within the hour. The boys will take much longer. Lou will be first guy to figure it out, and then I am not sure if Rick or Minuto will be next, said Sakura only to Naruto. I agree, but I think that Lou may figure it out faster than you think, said Naruto as he suddenly sensed another present. Naruto turned around to see Gaara walking over the little bridge that leads over the creek that lead to the training grounds. How you doing, Gaara? I am fine, said Gaara as he walked up to Sakura and Naruto. So Gaara, why are you here? Asked Naruto. I came to speak with the Hokage about the war and of course to see my sister's wedding this weekend, said Gaara in his normal monotone voice. Wait, Temari's and Shikamaru's wedding is this weekend, yelled Naruto as Sakura looked at him dumbfounded that he didn't know that. Naruto, how could you not know that? Yelled Sakura at her boyfriend. Well, no one told me when they were getting married. All you guys told me was that they were getting married, said Naruto as he looked at the ground as Sakura suddenly realized that he was right. Nobody told him at his party and she had been with him since then and she hadn't told him. That's okay, at least you found out before the wedding, said Sakura in an understanding voice as the genin walked up to see what was going on. Hey, what do you think is up with the eyeliner? Asked Kinkura. I don't know, said Rick. Do you know Minuto? Yeah, he's a freak, said Minuto, unaware that all three older ninjas could hear what they were saying. Suddenly sand wrapped around Minuto's mouth. I am the Kazekage, you fool, said Gaara as the sand tightened a bit around Minuto. Now Gaara, please don't kill one of my genin, it would mean so much more paperwork for me, said Tsunade as she appeared on the scene and Gaara released his sand. So old lady, what brings you here? Asked Naruto how soon he wished that he hadn't done that because Sakura's fist sent him flying into a tree so hard it topped over. Naruto-kun, you barker, show some respect toward our Hokage, yelled Sakura as the genin looked on stunned at the strength that Sakura had. I am sorry, Sakura-chan, said Naruto as he finally got up from the ground. Why did you come, Lady Hokage? Asked Sakura. 2 reasons. First, to give you team their first mission. Second is to tell you that I had to release Hanabi, said Tsunade as she handed a scroll to Naruto. What, why? Asked Naruto. Gaara, will you please make a wall around us? Asked Tsunade as a doom of sand surrounded the three, blocking the sound of their voice, therefore the genin and even Gaara couldn't hear them. The Hyuga clan used some old law saying that they thought Sakura was stealing Juno to give her to our enemies. Under the old law they have the right to enter your house in a time of war to remove the treat to the village, said Tsunade. So you're telling me that they can come into my house any time that they want? Asked Naruto. Not anymore, I removed that law from the books, said Tsunade. Wait, couldn't we have used that law to find Tenten? Asked Sakura. No, because she is part of their clan, therefore she would have the right to know their secrets, said Tsunade, that is if they would share them. So the reason why they could come into Naruto-kun's house was because I am from another clan? Asked Sakura. Yeah, said the Hokage. However, I also warned the Hyuga clan that if anyone with any relation to their clan is found unwelcome inside the Namikaze estate, then Hanabi will pay with her life, along with the other person, said the Hokage. I am sorry, but there is nothing I can do until we find Tenten. I see, said Naruto as Naruto hit the sand wall and Gaara removed his sand. As soon as the sand was gone, Gaara left along with the Hokage. So Naruto-sensei, what is our mission? Yelled Rick as Naruto pulled out the scroll that Tsunade gave him. Well, there is a missing cat we have to find, said Naruto as all 6 genin face fell. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.